can see me on your screen, please type 33 so that I know I'm on air and everyone is ready to go. Okay, great. Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is my great pleasure to welcome all of you to tonight's special event, Smart Senior Seminar. Tonight, we are here to discover how we can stay strong, energized, and full of life through balanced nutrition, a quality of proteins, a regular movement, and also right mindset. Light up, we, we are honored to be joined by a dedicated doctor, health expert, nutritionist, and inspiring speakers such as Chairman's Club members and President Team members. So relax, open your heart, and enjoy this evening filled with learning, laughing, and new beginning. So before I invite the first speaker, I have my story to tell. Very quick. Next. There's me. Okay. This, I think, a lot of people, they want this kind of shape when they come to my age. But in 20 years ago, I get to know this product, I consume it, and 2 months I lost 8 kg, and total until now I lost more than 10 kg. And when I took the product, and that was my 37 years old, and now I'm 57 years old. How I'm look so amazing, right? So I total lost about 10 kg. Like next step, next slide. So throughout this company, I come from a very humble family. I feel I run out my this high school. I feel everything. And what I can do is some of the decorations, display work, and some advertising and some filming. And also I did do some of the insurance next. So after I got a result, I shared with among all my friends and my relatives and my circle of influence, and I managed to get a few person to attend the first event in Bangkok. Since then, it's totally changed my life. Next. So this is the event I attended in Bangkok in 2006, and I met with high flyers. I met up with our CEO and our business philosopher, Jim Ron. And within 2.5 years, I qualified a president team. Next. So this is one of the recognition this year in Los Angeles, which is received 1% of the worldwide bonus. Next. And we have a lot of people, throughout these almost 20 years. I have a lot of people, customers to get a result. I have a lot of distributors to reach the financial freedom. And then until today, for me, I travel the world. My families have a good life. My daughter have a good education. Thanks, HerbaLife. Next. Okay, so these are travel during the vocations around the world. Yeah, next. All this happened when I joined HerbaLife. Okay, before HerbaLife, I was nothing. Okay, so this company raised me up, give me everything, give my children all good education, and now I still I stay with a good life. I stay with the healthy, active lifestyle. I do exercise every day. I like cycling, throughout the weekend. So thanks to HerbaLife. Next, okay. Without further ado, I would like to invite the first speaker. Okay, he is a brain and a motivation coach here to remind us that aging is not about slowing down; it's about evolving. He will share how we can care for our bodies and minds. Okay, embrace change with a positive mindset, and how we can personally navigate aging both for himself and his loved ones. Let's give a warmest welcome to our Senior Executive President Team 20K and Mr. Captain Saiful Captain Mohammad Saiful. Please.
Thank you, Daniel, for the warm introduction. Thank you so much. Hi, guys. They call me Captain Saiful. I'm already 64 years old. My background, next, please, my slide. My background, I was an army captain before. I joined the army at the age of 18 years old. Just completed my secondary schools. Joined army at the early stage of my life as a cadet, and I commissioned as a second lieutenant a year after. I served the army for 15 years. I was fit, I was healthy, I was rugged, I was robust. I take things for granted. I think by having that kind of lifestyle in the army, and when I left the army, I felt that it comes along package throughout my life. And what happens to me next, I didn't care much about my eating habits. I don't exercise. I focus more on my business. From 5 employees when I started the company, very small, it grows to 500 employees. I was so stressful. I don't eat much. I don't care about my nutrition. I don't sleep well. I don't exercise. A year after I left the army in 1997, I lost 14 kgs in 1 month. I was suffering from a lot of diseases. I have high blood, high cholesterol, high uric acids, and you just name it. And I was on medication that time. And I was bloated. I was very unhealthy. I was unhappy. I lost my laugh. I lost my life. I cannot work long hours anymore. I had to depend so much on my medications. And when my wife started the business, I was very, very skeptical. But once I joined HerbaLife in 2008, 3 years after my wife joined, I take because of the lifestyle and the people that surrounding helped me to change my mind. Important for us to make sure that who is our circle that circle us every single day. They call it the OQP, only quality people. When I joined HerbaLife, I understood the importance and the meaning of the OQP, the circle that we mix around every single day. When I was doing my business, my circle is only my employees and then my customers who are so much talking about business, growing the business, but never mention about taking care of my health. Next. So when it comes to the stage that when my health declining and keep on declining, and when I start joining HerbaLife, I divided my life into my health into different categories. First, I call it the mental health. It's important for us to have a very steady, stable mental fitness and mental health. So what I did is that every single morning I wake up early as possible, 4 a.m. in the morning, for my spiritual and also for my PDT, and also counting my blessing every single moment that what I have today, and I'm so blessed for having this kind of life. And after that, what I did is that we have our moments. We call it a prayer. What we call it a prayer moment with my wife. We talk every morning. We share our problems. We share our business strategy. We talk and we keep on talking. And from there on, I exercise, taking my full nutrition, and then after that, then I start working. Important is that when we talk about mental health and we talk about physical health, is what we put into our body is important. Before this in the army, because we have a very hectic life, exercise and so on and so forth. So we actually put your body in a very good condition. But once I'm starting my own business, importantly for us to really have a special diaries or special schedule to really maintain our fitness mentally and physically. So what I did is that I divided them accordingly. My mental health, my physical health, I break down into two. My outer, that is my skin, that carries 70% of my largest organ. And then my inner health, that is my full nutrition. I make sure that I break down into my heart health. I focus on taking my networks, my garlics, my omega-3 from the HerbaLife products. I'm talking about my digestive health, taking my aloe fiber. I'm talking about my muscle mass, taking my RS Pro, and so on. So when I divide, and based on the philosophy of HerbaLife, tone up, shape up, grow up, mental health, mental fitness, that make me age gracefully. Next. So this is how I enjoy my life. I like cycling. I cycle 3 to 4 times a week. Next. I play golf. I go to gyms. I cycle with my wife. Next. And to me, I had this is my philosophy that I've gone through, that I put in my mind that age is a fact. We cannot run from aging. But the most important thing is that the choice that we make, the decision that we make, age is keep on going. We cannot avoid aging, but the most important is to choose how we age gracefully, and we choose to be that. We choose to have the best health and the best fitness throughout our life. Next. And my wife, the one who started the business, when we got married, when we started the business, before that, before that, she was so beautiful. But after she joined me doing our own business, focusing on building our business every single day, every single night, we let's talk about our health and fitness. From a beautiful, sexy woman, she turned out to be fat, overweight, and her health declined. So when she started consuming her life, she changed a lot, not in terms of physically, but her character changed a lot. She become loving, she become more caring, and she become more beautiful than ever. Look at her now at the age of 63 years old, a grandmom of 9 grandchildren. She's fitter now, healthier now, beautiful than ever. Next. This is what we are doing at the moment. We always talk to ourselves. Age is catching up, but that is not a problem. But how we keep ourselves fit, healthy, mental fitness is more important. We are surrounded every weekend with our grandchildren. We make times for our family. We make times for our organization. We make times for our business, and the most important, we make times for ourselves. We travels together. We have lunch together. We have more times together now, and our time is so precious and so marvelous. Next. So I often go to the gym, and sometimes, of course, I'm already 64 years old. I'm seeing myself as a senior citizen attending and being in the gym. But this is the best quote that I always keep to myself. It's better to be the oldest guy in the gym rather than to be the youngest person in a nursing home. So that motivates me to keep and build up my muscle mass, because the structure of the muscle mass is so important, especially on our core muscle. So I keep on taking more proteins. I keep on going to the gyms, building my muscle. So important is not about getting myself the best shape, but more importantly is to keep myself fit and healthy, so I don't depend on my children when I grow older. I can manage myself. I can travel. I can go to toilet myself. I can organize myself. I don't fall sick. I don't have to be bedridden. I don't have to go to the hospitals. I don't have to go to all those things. But more important is to be able to enjoy my life as long as old as I goes. Next, please. So the last quote that I'm going to share with you is that the greatest wealth that we experience is having a healthy body, a calm mind, and the right people in life. I was so blessed that have my health, I have my healthy body, I have my calm mind, I have the people who surrounded me, my wife, my children, my grandchildren, my friends, my organization, my team, and HerbaLife as a whole. They always surround me at all times, giving me the best vibes, the get positive surrounding environments at all time. That's all for me. Thank you so much. Back to you, Daniel. Daniel, are you there?
I'm so sorry. I mute this now. Okay,
Oh,
thank you very much, Captain Saiful, Senior Executive President 30K, and for your inspiring sharing. And you really shaped my mind because I'm not an early person. You know, I will wake up like over 7 something, 8 o'clock sometimes, but you wake up at 4. I try my best to wake up at 4. I talking to my wife. Anyway, coming up, I would like to bring up the next speaker, okay, who will teach us why we have imbalance and deficiency of nutrition intake, okay, in nutrients stage of aging, why we need to infuse our body with calcium, omega-3, L-arginine, and collagen, okay. Let's hear from our in-house certified nutritionists uh, with years of experience, helping people transform their energy and health through balanced nutrition. Please welcome HerbaLife Malaysia and Singapore product trainer and nutritionist. And at the same time, she is a MAHPC registered uh, nutritionist. So please welcome Miss Claire.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Daniel, for this very nice introduction of myself. All right. Let me quickly share the screen. Okay. All right. So thank you, Daniel and Captain Saifu. Like just now when I listened to Captain's, right, I really like this saying from Captain is like we cannot run away from age, but it's what we choose to age healthily and gracefully. So I'm Claire, Herbalife Malaysia and Singapore product trainer and nutritionist. And today I will bring you through some of the nutrients that we need, especially during we have the aging stage. So before we go into the nutrition part of today, so I bring you through some of the statistics, especially the statistic in the Asia Pacific. So basically, we can see that 28% of the elderly in the Asia Pacific actually having some deficiency in the nutrient intake. And this is especially highlighted on the calcium, iron, vitamin D, and other vitamins and minerals as well. While for in Malaysia, and this is the latest statistic come out from our government of health, where 1 in 4 elderly people in Malaysia actually have this imbalance of nutrient intake, whether it is like take too much of this fat intake or insufficiency of other vitamins and minerals as well. So for today's topic, we will be looking into calcium, omega-3, L-arginine, and collagens on how are we going to have these nutrients and especially when we age to age gracefully and healthily. So the first part of today, we are going to talk about calcium. So if you can look on this graph over here, so it's a bone mass versus our age. So if you look at this red color regions over here is actually pointed towards female. So actually for female, after 30 years old, our bone mass will start to decrease. While for male, after 40 years old, their bone mass will start to decrease as well. So while we are always talking about, like how is it so important to have calcium, magnesium, how is it help us to have a stronger bone, but technically 70 to 80% of the elderly individuals in APAC actually consume less than 500 mg of calcium per day, while the recommended intake from our government is actually 1,200 mg. And when I do some studies on these elderlies and with these calciums, right, I found this very interesting statistics over here is that actually in one of the research actually specific that 50% of these hip fractures incidents will actually occur in Asia Pacific 25 years later. So this brings us to how are we going to take care of our bone? So this is a very simple formula over here that I want to highlight on today is calcium plus magnesium plus vitamin D, where you can get it from the sunlight exposure, is a free vitamin, and together with exercise. So why are we always emphasizing people, like you have to take those good nutritions together with exercise? Because exercise over here, when we have this exercise together with the calcium, magnesium, and vitamin D, is somehow like it's like kind of push this calcium into our bone to help us to have a stronger bone. Now, the next part of today's sessions is on omega-3 and L-arginine. So when we look into this omega-3, especially on this fish oil, there are actually many research that say that this fish oil can help us in our brain health and our heart health. So basically, fish oil have another function where it can help to lower our risk on this cardiovascular mortality. And what fish oil will do in our body is that it will help to reduce our triglycerides level, reduce our bad cholesterol that we call it as LDL, and of course to reduce our excessive blood clotting in our body as well. So you might want to ask like, okay, so Claire, how much of omega-3 do I need to take every day? So the recommendation for omega-3 for normal adults, we are talking about EPA and DHA over here, is 300 to 500 mg. So where can you find this omega-3? You can take it from the deep sea fish, such as mackerel, salmon, or you can take it from the fish oil supplementations. Or if you are vegan, you can take it from the flax seeds or chia seeds oil as well. So other than the fish oil that we always heard it from social media or in the market, today I want to introduce to you one terms over here is on L-arginine. And what is this thing called L-arginine and how it helps it in these blood vessels? So the sources of L-arginine, where can we find this? L-arginine is basically from our seafood and nuts and seeds. So what L-arginine will do in our body is that when L-arginine goes into our body, it will produce something called nitric oxide. And this nitric oxide will help our blood vessels to relax. So from this relax of the blood vessels, what it will do is that it can help us to reduce our blood pressure. All right. But there is one interesting statistics over here is that as we age, as our age increase, especially after 30 years old, our nitric oxide production actually decrease. So this means that when we age, gradually, when our age increase, it's important to have this nitric oxide, this L-arginine supplemented into our body as well. Where if for daily diets, we can take it from the seafoods or nuts and seeds, or you can take some supplementations that contain the L-arginine. So this is the part that is very interesting. We're talking about collagen. So basically, for people who after 20 years old, our collagen in our body will gradually decrease. And many people will think that, oh, collagen is only for skin, but it's not. Collagen appears on our skin, but also in our joint as well. So for some collagen's product that is in this collagen peptide form, it actually can help to build up our skin health, and at the same time, it supports our joint health as well. Now, I believe most of you know about this thing called aloe vera. So why am I bringing this aloe vera on today's sessions is because we know that for elderly people, there are many elderly people have this dehydrations or they have this indigestions or constipation. So what do we have in this aloe vera is that we have these vitamins and enzyme that can help you to have a better hydration, to lock the hydration in your cells, increase the absorptions of the nutrients, especially in elderly, because we know that as we age, as our age increase, the absorptions of nutrients will be decreased. And at the same time, it can help you for the better digestions and reduce the constipation as well. So for my sessions, we have covered the calcium, omega-3, L-arginine, and collagen. And now for the next sessions of today, I'm very honored to introduce one of our very special guests of today, who is Dr. Luigi. He is our NAB chairman of NAB, and at the same time, he is also our vice president for training and education. Now let's welcome Dr. Luigi, and it's over to you, Doctor.
Thank you so much, Claire. Hello, Good evening, everyone, wherever you may be in the world. My name is Dr. Luigi Groton. I work as the Vice President for the Division of Health and Wellness for the company. I first of all want to congratulate everyone who is putting this seminar together. This is an incredible thing. In my 20 years working with the company, I've never done anything like this. So I'm very proud to be part of this sort of healthy aging smart senior seminar. I happen to be 55 years of age, so all of this information applies to me. And I love the testimonials from everyone. I especially love what Claire just talked about. Claire did all the heavy lifting, she did all the hard work because she talked about the nutrient deficiencies that happen as we age, especially with the food supply. So I'm going to do the easy part because I'm a big proponent. I really believe in food and supplementation, in addition to healthy, active lifestyle like exercise and good sleep. So, I want to show you all some examples of how you can supplement, you can add certain nutrients to the diet, because what Claire described was a lot of the problems. And now we want to give you the solutions because she showed you the amount of calcium you need, the amount of nitric oxide that we should be thinking about, the fish oil. All these things are important. So, first of all, 10 seconds. I just want you to understand that my background is in family medicine. I did my board certification in family medicine after medical school, and I did an additional board certification in clinical nutrition. So, my passion has always been in how people can use nutrition to help support a healthy, active lifestyle and prevent and avoid certain chronic conditions. Okay, so let's get into it. And I'm going to piggyback on what Claire just did. The next slide, if you would go, I'm just going to show you about 4 slides. But the first slide, when Claire talked about calcium, vitamin D, magnesium, and bone health, is so important. And I love what she touched on is if you go out in the sun every day for about 20 minutes, you're going to get a free vitamin exposure. Okay. You don't have to be out there for an hour laying on the beach. If you just get 20 minutes, your body naturally makes vitamin D. And vitamin D is not only a vitamin, but it's almost like a pro hormone that does a lot of things in the body, but it especially helps with your bones, your teeth, and a lot of other things. Now, calcium and vitamin D and magnesium together are really important. If you ever walk through a forest and you look at trees, you'll notice some of the trees have been cut down. And if you're looking from top down at a tree, you'll see the rings in the tree. That's exactly what bone looks like if you cut bone. And we call 2 areas of bone, not important to know, the cortical, which is the rings of the tree, and the trabecular network, which is inside the rings of the tree. When we're young, we develop that trabecular network inside. When we're older, it's really important to work on the cortical bone. And those are the rings out on the outside of the tree. If you keep those rings of the tree very strong in your bones, you will not get a fracture. You will avoid those fractures. And as Claire said, when you avoid the fractures, you avoid a lot of other problems. When I worked in clinical medicine in the hospital, a lot of older people would have a fracture. They come into the hospital, they get pneumonia, and a big percentage of them would die. It's not a good situation. So, just keeping your bone health intact is crucial to keeping a healthy lifestyle. So, how can you supplement? Taking a calcium, vitamin D, magnesium supplement, such as what you're seeing here.